Lovely people, happy Sunday. Welcome to the Jaden Show. I've got a really cool show in store for you today. Going all the way to New York, USofA to meet filmmaker, singer, songwriter, musician, oh my gosh, actor, DJ, producer. The guy does everything. His name's Frank Palangi, and you're going to meet him in a minute. But I think we should see a trailer to his new film, American Psychopath. Check this out.
We define a serial killer as a person who murders at least 2 to 3 people, with the killings taking place over a significant period of time in separate events.
Sending them letters and messages, always know where they are.
I just want to go home.
I really need to get going.
Sure.
Yes, I was wondering if you could tell me if a girl called last night.
Hey, Katie, it's Bob. Is Rachel with you by any chance?
Please.
Well, no, I tried there. She's not there. She's not here. She left her phone here. I don't know where she could be.
You may never find out what makes them do what they do.
You may never find out what makes them do what they do.
We are back on WWCRY.
How amazing was that? And if you think his film's as good, you've got to check out his music as well, which we'll be doing very shortly. But first, we need to go to a Jaden Show commercial break. Hey guys, I wanted to take this opportunity to let you know about the Jaden Show commercial break starting now. This is amazing news because now every single week you have a couple of minutes to be able to advertise something you want to advertise. So if you have a business, if you have an event coming up, if you have a new album, art gallery, or anything you want to particularly advertise on a show, this is your chance to do it. March and April 2024, the advertisements are free, so please let me know. Get in touch to me on Jaden Cornelious at AOL.com. It will be wonderful to hear from you. If you are a charity or a charitable organization or a non-profit and you are advertising something with regards to that, then always your advertising is free. So let me know. You will need to send me between a 1 and 2 minute video around that time, if possible, something that you want to advertise, and I will fit it into this spot. Get on. I'll see you soon. Take care, bud. Are you ready? Let's go and meet this week's The Jaden Show incredibly special guest, the amazing Frank Palangi. Frank Palangi. OMG, mate. I just want to say, recording artist, singer-songwriter, welcome to the Jaden Show, but it's recording artist, singer-songwriter, DJ, guitarist, actor, filmmaker, producer. Welcome to the Jaden Show. We don't have any more time. Thank you. Goodbye.
How's How's it going?
It's going well, mate. How are
Man
you
of many crafts.
Mate, and some. How do you stay so fresh looking and so chilled with all that responsibility?
I don't know. Patience. That's what I would say.
That's a really... I mean, you know, I've been kind of following you on your social media for some time now and think you're desperately talented and what you do is absolutely incredible. How did it all start for you? Like, was you like a child prodigy and kind of like, I don't know...
Not at all. Not at all.
Performing arts and...
I mean, I think you have to have some natural knack at whatever you do, some natural ability or something that has to be there. But it takes practice and repetition and practice and practice and practice. When I teach guitar lessons too, I tell all my students, I go, how do you think you're going to get better? And they're like, I go, practice. I go, if you practice, I used to practice 5 to 7 hours a day on guitar.
Mate.
And I'm just like, that's what it takes. You don't have to, you don't if that's what you want to.
What you put in, you get out.
What you put in. And it started with my love for movies and film and the soundtracks for those movies, like Terminator and The Crow and Freddy versus Jason and Resident Evil and all that kind of stuff. Rob Zombies and Bride of Chucky was a big one for me too.
No, it's Wizard of Oz isn't in there.
No Wizard of Oz, but I did watch that a bunch of times, and maybe there's some melodies in there that have stuck around in my head. But I think, it's funny now. I think that is the very first maybe musical thing, and then there was like a Disney Mickey Mouse movie they had made that was very kind of theatrical, animated.
Okay. Oh, like Fantasia or something.
Yeah, I think it was that movie. And then I seen T2, Terminator 2, and I was all done. I was like, this is it.
This is my path forwards.
Yeah, I was like the music and everything. Because if you listen to the music, it's kind of it's actually, I don't want to say simple, but it's based off of those premises with layers and, the dun 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 dun. It's all it is a beat.
Yeah. That gets you the minute it starts.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, and my mom was the one to give me a VHS camcorder. And she goes, you can like try to reenact those scenes from the movies if you want in front of the camera. And I was like, I can?
Because I'd take out the next door neighbor's dog with the...
Exactly.
Wow. Thanks,
exactly. Mom. Well, I started with action figures, right? Making up stories, recreating, almost doing like fan films, right? With your action figures in a way. And that's how I started. And then I was like, oh, we could actually do this in person. So I got my friends and my cousins and my aunts and everybody to be in everything. That I just kept with it. I kept with it all the way till now. And then music, learning guitar, stuff like that, it didn't hit me till about 13. So it was actually a little bit late.
You're getting on a bit at that point.
Yeah. But, it took a while. It probably took 6 years to really play well. I could play fast and stuff like that, but to play well, like what's intricate, you know what I mean? And you're playing, what's the difference between verses and choruses, and you got a solo here and then you got a bridge here, understanding all that stuff. Yeah. Well, I dived into everything from the start. I go, you know what? I'm going to get a little tape recorder back when there was cassette tapes and get a 4-track recorder. Yeah, and record myself. So I did that, and I go, this is interesting. There's a science behind it. You got to hook up a mic, and then you got to place a mic, a certain area. And so I just kind of got fascinated into that. And it was Windows XP was the first computer that I edited music on. And I was like, you can do some more things in the computer than you can on a tape recorder. So I just kept going. So eventually I started recording, mixing, mastering everything myself, just through people I've worked with, and a lot of trial and error, a lot of bad.
Probably more error than anything else. On the stages, right?
Way more error. Right? Even to this day, you're like, wow, that simple thing made everything sound better, and I was doing it the other way this whole time.
Yeah, no, completely. I'm not very technical, so I find it all very challenging. And I do come from the time where you had like your Toshiba or whatever it was, or Hachi, or I don't know what it was called, but yeah, and it was amazing when you got two tapes together. like a double tape deck. Oh my god, man, that was just like fight technology. And I remember I got it sussed enough. I mean, I was recording. It's quite funny. At the age of 3, I'm 51, nearly 52 now. But at the age of 3, I was recording. On my dad had his stereo with these little kind of dials that used to do that with the tones.
Yep.
And my dad used to put. He was a big ABBA fan, so we'd put ABBA on cassette number 1 and put a blank tape in cassette number 2 and a mic, and say, right now sing and make sure your arrow is the same as their arrow. So that's how I kind of. I got a tape. So I was born in 73, so I got a tape in 75 when I was singing ABBA songs. And then when I got my own double play deck, and I can actually put one tape in, record the backing track, and then swap them over and record one voice to the backing track, and then swap them over and do a harmony to what I just
overdub it.
I mean, it was all.
And the tape starts to degrade.
Yeah, really. I think I made my first album that way in 1989. Cool. So yeah, I think I was like still like in my teens. I made it was called The Distance.
That was cool.
All my Canadian friends, because I was
based off the ABBA.
Based off, all the.
It's funny. My vocal coach is one of the singers of the ABBA tribute band in America.
No way, really?
Yeah.
You need to hook me up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not quite, and yet, Benny, Bjorn, or Frida, but it's like the next level down, mate. I'm very excited.
It's good. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Maybe I could, if they ever have a sickness or someone goes on holiday, I can help. I know all the words. So
you never know. You could be the guy with the blonde hair. I forget the name.
Beyond or whatever. So, I mean, was it just kind of like, horrific horror movies and, sci-fi and stuff that was the music of going around in your youth? Or was there other music in and around you at that time? What were your family into? What was going on in the home musically? That
was what my mom pretty much, she loved horror movies. My dad would watch some of it. He was more of like the Tom Cruise action stuff, and then he was aliens and kind of sci-fi horror action, anything like that. He still doesn't like stuff that's like Last House on the Left, or he liked Jaws, original Halloween, that kind of stuff. Not so much Friday the 13th.
Jaws, to create such intensity with with
the I would say the lack of footage they have from the shark, right?
Yeah,
there's a reason, because it broke down.
I actually watched it. They were taking it off Netflix, and I watched it a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, still like, that was not a bad movie, mate.
It's still good. Yeah, I probably get ridiculed, but I think Jaws 2 is a little better film.
I haven't seen
Jaws 1 is a classic.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to progress to Jaws 2 then. I'm going to find out where that is.
Yeah.
What was your biggest love at the time? Because musician? When did singing come into the pot? Because
I had to.
It wasn't your joy, no?
No. My mom's like, well, why don't you... A few people messaged it to me. They're like, why don't you start to sing and play guitar? And I go, I can't. I go, it's tough enough getting these, rhythms and stuff. I go, now I got to do 2 rhythms on one. Then I have to pay attention to the drums, which I'm not really used to either. So it was bad. I was trying to sing Metallica. I was trying to do... I could only do, like, the verses. Okay. When it came to the choruses, I was like, forget it. Nope. Nope. So it was like... I think because Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, he's really not a singer. He just said, screw it. Right. I'm going to sing. I kind of felt like that, where I go, okay, screw it. I'm going to try this. And I practice a lot of Megadeth because... there's so much guitar playing and there's like so little vocal in a way. I mean, he sings through a lot of it, but he's quick, and he's almost like talking through it. I was like, maybe I can kind of start off with that and try to at least play the Symphony of Destruction riff and play the verse or something to that. And it's just like, so, it's still to this day, I can't do the chorus of Symphony of Destruction and sing at the same time, the 2 guitar parts.
You did set your kind of sights pretty fucking high, mate. It wasn't like going, like, I love you, I honestly love you.
Man.
By Olivia Newton-John. You were like straight into like, I've got to get everything done. It's got to be, and it's really, like, I'm rapping, I'm singing, I'm like, it's almost like,
yep.
It's like sensory chaos, and you use that as your first trial of becoming an artist.
Yeah, pretty much as I have to. I have to do this. Because I grew up too with asthma and really, really bad allergies. Didn't play sports. I couldn't actually do a lot of things. So I was like, well, I could do music inside. I could create all day. I could do movies inside contained. You know, when I feel good, I could go outside. We could film some stuff and this and this. And so it was like the most creative outlet for me, I think, that I could do.
Being full of medication and sneezing constantly for the whole day.
Yeah, I remember they wanted me on the swim team when I was in middle school. They're like, congratulations, you were the 7th fastest in the whole region or something.
Oh, right? That's pretty impressive.
Like, we want you on the swim team. And I'm like, that's great, but I can't do it because of the chlorine. I can't take a steady dose of chlorine with my allergies. And I get motion sick. So, you travel almost all the way up to Canada and back because we're pretty close. We're like 6 hours, 7 hours from Canada.
Right.
And I go, and buses made me sick. So I go, I just can't. I can't do it. The reality is I didn't know how to dive. I jumped in and beat everybody.
Amazing, mate.
Can you imagine if I dived? I definitely would have been 1 or 2.
There's still possible hope for you then, mate, with all the medications and that are out now.
Yeah, I'm good. I love swimming, but I'm good on that.
Maybe in the Caribbean Ocean, maybe one after this, quite nice.
Yeah, you know what though? It's like one of those things. It's like riding a bike. You could probably get right back into it, where it's like, oh wow, it's like that's something that just is ingrained in you from somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Past lifetime, family members, in your genes. I believe in all that stuff.
No, me too, completely.
Yeah.
I actually won the school swimming competition in the pajama race.
There you go.
Couldn't hardly. I mean, when I was learning to swim as a kid, I was always the shortest. So even in the shallow end of the pool, the water was here, and they would always say, "Cornelious, stand up," and I was always standing up. I just didn't float. And then I won the pajama race. You had to jump in and swim in a pair of pajamas a width to get to the other end. And I didn't win because I was a good swimmer. I won because my fear of death was so strong that I swam like
as fast as you can.
Yeah. I didn't want the pajamas to drag me under, and I won.
Yeah.
It was my only...
Adrenaline can do a lot, man.
Hey, I was like Forrest Gump of the water. That was unbelievable. That's the only time I've ever been good at swimming. Now, obviously, I've got more belly than I did when I was 11 years old, so I probably have to see how that works.
Well, you're a little taller now, so you got
probably not much, to be fair, mate. To be honest, probably a little bit, but yeah, not
okay,
much. So, do you have a preference? Obviously, I guess filmmaking was the first thing that kind of was a bit of your first love and introduction, probably to creativity, and then obviously the music as well.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference out of them, or are they all just part that makes up the creative side of Frank Palangi?
Yeah, I decided a long time ago that both mediums need each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, whatever I'm busy with, even if I'm making a movie, it still needs music. Even if I'm making music, it needs visual aspects of a music video or promotions, or now it's got into different product videos that I do for like microphones and stuff like that, and it goes into photos, and so everything kind of just weeds in and out. But I think I have more of a natural ability to place music and sound effects where they need to be in films,
right? Because
I have that, I don't know what it is, natural rhythm thing that I just get it of like, no, because I understand some people, like if you take a scene in a movie, if you were to say, what would you place in there? What type of soundtrack would you place in there? And they place this song and it just totally ruins the scene. The timing is everything. But I've been lucky where I can just go in and kind of feel that out, even if it's something I didn't edit, Because sometimes I watch movies and I go, wow, the movie was okay, but with better music, it would have made the movie even better.
Mm-hmm. No, completely. Yeah, you can even like a Netflix series. You can be like, "What have you done, mate?"
It's all sound effects. Bring back the '80s scores. It doesn't have to sound '80s, but just put music in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Melody.
Do you ever get an opportunity to leave the studio, apart from probably not even for bed? But I mean, you do so much, and it's not like I'm just going to play, like 3 tracks of guitar, and then tomorrow I'm going to sing, and no. You do everything. Do you ever leave the studio?
To go upstairs, yeah.
Okay, is it in your house, the studio?
Yeah, so the first floor is the studio, and then my editing stuff's upstairs. So when I do video, I force myself upstairs, and then I do the audio down here.
Okay, and where do you sleep? Do you have a room separate for sleeping and stuff like that?
I do have a bedroom now.
Oh, that's good now. Love it.
Well, my notion is I don't need a whole room for a bedroom. I don't even use it,
Wow,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Think about it. You don't use a bedroom at all.
No.
I don't watch TV at nothing. I have a movie room that I have a bunch of real movie posters, and I have replica masks of Michael Myers and Freddy and Jason and all those guys. And I go, so I got the movie room, I got the surround sound, all that stuff, but I don't need a bedroom. But
just a bed somewhere.
Yeah, now I got one. I got one now.
Oh, what? See, it's kind of evolving, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Do you still? I mean, obviously, you're surrounded by your music a lot.
Yeah.
Do you ever get any downtime where you just think, "Oh, sorry, I'm just going to put my cans on and listen to, I just not even for inspiration, just to, or is there anything you do to totally escape the sensory chaos that is creating at times? I mean, like
sometimes, yeah. Like I'll probably go out to eat or force myself to do that. Actually, like last night, I was like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna play a video game, or something like that. But really, what I do is I do a lot of research, and I'll just I'll watch movies and stuff as research and things. And I don't really sit. I used to sit and listen to music more. I don't. My ears are being bombarded 24/7 with everything. So it really depends. Like if I decide to work out a little bit, I actually don't listen to music anymore, which I used to. I like kind of quietness of it.
Yeah. Because you're constantly churning stuff out. I mean, you're constantly working.
Yeah, and I have like a Fiverr profile too, and I do like reviews of songs, and I'll mix this and this, and my ears need a break. Yeah. So it's like I would love. Even for my radio show, I don't really have a lot of time to listen to new music or to listen fully to my playlist to see if it's any good. You know what I mean? Because I just don't. My ears can only take so much. So
it's amazing how much you do, mate. It's really like.
But I'm kind of fast at it, so I just.
You've obviously got your whole kind of like way of working. I mean, like, because you look so chilled and relaxed and not frantic at all. Like Jaden, if I've actually got to do a show in about 13 minutes, can you shut up, please?
Yeah.
So it's amazing, mate. If you had to could you let go of any of it? Could you be like, do you know what? I can't. There's not enough hours in the day to be a DJ and produce and play guitar and everything.
Yeah.
Would you be able to ever put any of it to one side and say, it's too much at the moment? Or has it ever got to that stage?
Yeah, it has. Right now it's kind of that way where I'm struggling to get my own music done right now versus what I'm hired to do or movies or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so the past couple weeks I have been like, I recorded guitar like 7 hours the other day. I was working on stuff 10 hours the other day. The past 2 weeks has been every day just mixing, trying to get all the stuff done, and I'm like I'm still not done, you know what I mean? And I'm like I do need to release new music at some point, but then you get these opportunities that come into that you're like, I have to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they'll come around every day. I have this and I have this, and then whether you're fortunate enough or not, where other people come in and they start to ask you to do things. Like I got another email yesterday saying, would you be interested in singing some cover songs for this app? You don't have to sing like the whole song. You just sing half of it, and then the other half is we're going to pay you to analyze your voice in AI. And so that can sing better and this. And I'm like, okay, that's more stuff. More stuff to do. Yes, I will do it.
Bad, mate.
So,
do you have a supportive network around you, like family, friends, or this kind of thing? Or are you pretty much on your own, one-man show, just doing everything you can possibly do?
Yeah, I mean, nobody does things for me.
Side, of course, but...
Yeah, but I have, like, if I got an issue or something, I can talk to somebody. Or sometimes, too, like, some of these famous mixing guys and producers and stuff, I will... I'm not afraid to do this. I'll just Instagram them or send them an email and ask them a question. Mm-hmm. And most of the time they will respond back, that sort of thing, which is nice. And that's another thing I think where I've made my connections through the industry is that I'm not afraid to, I used to walk up to bands and give them my card or my CD, but I would talk to them. I wouldn't say, "Oh, I loved your music," and I go, I'm a musician too, really love the set and all that. And I just start talking to him, and I'd be like, "Listen, I'm working with this guy, whatever." And I go, "You've influenced me like a lot. I really want you to hear this because you're going to hear yourself in there."
Sweet, mate.
So that's how I got started, and it worked. One of the bands kind of took me under their wing, and then I went to Nashville, and I don't know, the rest is history. So
I think as well, like, when you're an artist, there's so many people crawling up your ass that actually to meet someone that's actually really quite real and authentic is incredible, to be fair.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. I mean, if they're fans, they just want to, either, but to actually meet someone that's actually real is not the most common find when you're an artist as well. So how do your fans react to you? Because like like I said, you cover pretty much everything. So are your DJ fans, into your music and into your filmmaking, or your filmmaking van supporting your other ventures? I mean, how does it work? Or do you have like, these are my core supporters for my music, these ones always there, check out my movies? How does it work for you?
The music has definitely gone into the film world.
Really?
I think it's just because, and some of them it's just because it's me, like they're fans.
The music is in your films, so right.
Yeah, and they're like, "All right, we'll watch this movie," that sort of thing. And they know. I get comments all the time, and they know how hard I work, and because sometimes I don't get back to people, and I'll try to. I'll say I'm busy working on this and then whatever, and I answer every single message that I get in, no matter who it is. But yeah, the radio stuff, the radio station has their fans, so I'm not really sure. I do my show on a network, so I don't really know with that, but definitely music fans, and I've noticed the horror movie fans, especially. Yeah. Okay. They're drummers, they're bass players, they're guitarists. So as I find that out, then I'm like, well, I'm not just a director. Then we start to talk about music. Yeah. And that's forget the films.
Gets to mean a little bit more as well then.
Yeah. So, I think it works out. I don't know how to break it up into percentages, but it does cross over, and then there's always some people that are just I just like the music.
Yeah.
I don't like horror movies, so I'm never gonna watch that stuff.
It's amazing, man. I think you're incredible. I don't know how you balance everything that you balance. It's amazing.
I've always loved like self-progression and kind of like bettering yourself or different layers of things. And so I feel like, I was here and now I'm here. I always say no plan B.
Okay.
I'm not there yet.
Always something to learn, right?
Yeah. Until I get there, maybe once I get there, maybe I'll slow down, right? When you finally get there, then you slow down.
Maybe when you finally get there, the next day people will be attending your funeral and they'll say there's no plan B, and he never slowed down.
Yep. It's just over.
But what he did, has been left for millions to see for, the rest of the creation. That's amazing.
Well, that's an interesting thing because somebody goes, they're like, do you want to be as big as like a Daughtry or something? And I go, I'm just trying to make a living at it. And I go, and I love to create, but I love those guys. Like I worked with Brian from Daughtry. I go, I like to be around that or just a part of it a little bit, but that doesn't mean, I don't know if I want to, do you really want to be like a Taylor Swift? You know what I mean? Where
I haven't got the legs or the belly anymore, so I couldn't even if I wanted to, mate.
You can't do anything anymore.
I think with me, my age changed a lot. You know, I was becoming, you know, really quite famous in the UK back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And actually my esteem was at its lowest. My sense of self-worth was at its lowest. So I kind of craved it more because it was making me feel like someone. Now I'm kind of in my early 50s. Well, just in my early 50s. I've got to a stage where I don't really give a shit what people think anymore. I do things. I'm trying to be the best authentic version of Jaden I can be. And I do things, I love to do them without expectation, because for me, expectation always brought expectation of others always brought a disappointment. So now I do things because I feel drawn to do it, because I always want to better myself. You know, when I was a pop singer in the 90s, I then started wanting to be different. So I started learning, I was pierced and tattooed, and I started learning opera and classical. So I was the bad boy of, you know, of classical music, and that was really cool. And then I came to Mexico with my 30 backing tracks of, you know, classical music. So I was singing, you know, in some beachfront club, and someone would tap me on the shoulder and go, in the middle of Pavarotti, you know, you don't do that, and say, oh, do you know any Whitney? I'm like, oh. So I'm like, shit. And I was thinking, but I used to love Whitney. Like,
yes. I always get, do you know any John Mayer, Dave Matthews?
Oh, really?
I go, have you heard what I just played? I go, no. I actually learned one John Mayer song for the heck of it. And I go, I'm never doing this again.
Wow, mate. Yeah, no, people always want something different. And I thought, you know what? I think back in the day, you had to pigeonhole yourself into one particular genre, you know, and God forbid you brought in a harmonica or saxophone when it wasn't meant to be there. And now I just think, do you know what? I just do what I love. So now I sing 4 nights a week, and I will do everything from mariachi because I want to I will sing ABBA. I might sing a Pavarotti or an Italian classic, or, you know, and none of it. I know how to use my voice, so obviously I'm not going to go, oh, I want to dance with somebody. I'm not going to do that, you understand? But so I can sing pop, I can sing reggae, I can sing country, I can sing, not very good at rock, but I can sing, you know, like romantic rock, like, I don't know, Heart and stuff like that.
The 80s smooth.
Yeah, the 80s smooth stuff, you know, and I can do it, and it all works because it's all Jaden. And I play with almost like you would play with an instrument. You wouldn't play the guitar country the same as you'll play guitar in a thrash metal song. You know, guitar. You just, so I think for me, I just started doing what I love without the expectation of trying to please anyone. I was just like, I'm just being authentic Jaden, and that was the most freeing experience of my life. I found myself more creative because I wasn't trying to appease to anyone else's needs. I mean, it's different maybe for you, because you've got people saying, this is what I specifically need of you, and it's got to be like this. You know, I'm not as talented as you. I can just sing. So for me, it kind of gave me this real liberation that I didn't have to try and be a classical crossover star or a pop star. I'm just Jaden, and I do what
I do what I do, sort of. Yep. But it's sometimes I've always wondered, because you're more focused that way. It's like I have the one craft, and I'm going to master this one craft. Right? You know, you don't have all these other things dragging you this way. But it's funny. So the industry, as you know, they want you to do one thing because that's what they want you to sell. And I was always kind of like, with my first release, they're like, all right, this is hard rock stuff, but it kind of sounds early 2000s, and it's got a Creed element. So is it like Christian rock, or is it regular hard rock? What is it? Mm-hmm. I go, it's whatever you want it to be.
Absolutely.
I go, it's both. So, you know, I got played on some Christian rock stations and the hard rock stations. The funny thing is, I've never gotten a comment from the hard rock people about the Christian rock stuff. They don't see it. Maybe they do, but it's weird because some people they listen to some of the old stuff and they go, like one guy said one time, he goes, "There's something in it. I don't know what it is. It just kind of lifts my spirits and this and this." And I go, "Well, you ever listen to like Creed or any of these Christian rock bands?" "No, I don't listen to this. No, I I think one person even said I'm atheist and whatever." And I go, "Well, that some of that stuff's in my songs, whether you know it or not."
Yeah.
That's
amazing, mate.
But hey, I don't if it's in there, it's in there a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't do it as much now. Like I had a song called Hope that came out that specifically I did more of a Christian hard rock kind of track. And I don't like the labels. You just have to label it, you know, as something. And I'm like, you know, it's a message of hope and uplifting. And it really has to do with any religion that you would, you know what I mean, that you find hope in or anything. But there's glimpses of that with everything.
It's people's perception of something as well. Like I remember I was asked to sing their theatre, and it was a night of the musical. So a lot of the people that have played like big roles in London's West End, like the guy that played Phantom, the woman that played, you know, one of the witches in Wicked and stuff, were all doing this theatre, and me. And I hadn't been in any musical or done anything, and I had to get 3 songs prepared, and I had 2 that I knew I wanted to sing, and I'm like, I'm going to sing Dance with My Father by Luther Vandross, which is something I would never normally touch, and I'm going to sing it in Spanish.
Really?
I don't have time to get a backing track together, so I sourced the backing track, which was a pop R&B backing track.
Yeah.
But because I sang it in Spanish, everyone was like, oh, that classical number in Spanish was absolutely good. I'm like, it was an Amoritz backing track of pop R&B by Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
It's got people's perceptions that people get from it. I mean, if you just lay it there, people are going to take from it what they want to take from it, right?
Yeah.
Or the bits they don't want to take, and take the beauty or the things that touch their soul, resonate with them, etc., etc. So.
Exactly, and it's like every time I explain it, I go, I know what my songs mean to me. I know the feeling that I get, but once I create it and I throw it out there, it's however it hits you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but maybe you'll get some of that feeling of what I feel.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
sort
what
of
we
thing.
can do, right?
Yeah, and the horror movies, you know, it's totally opposite. That's total, you know.
This is what it is.
Let's kill everybody.
I want you to scream. I want you to wet yourself. I want, you know, all those comments coming back. What's going on for you at the moment? What are you doing right now?
So I've got a couple new songs I'm doing. Hopefully, it'll be coming out this year. I have Purple Haze, which is coming out March 14th, which is a new cover version with he's a UK drummer prodigy. He was 13 years old. His dad had contacted me, and he's like, this was during COVID, and he goes, we're trying to reach out to some artists and stuff to work with. He goes, would you do a song with him or something? So we did a video version of it, and I was like, well, I'm sorry it took 3 years. I go, but I finally did the recorded version of it. So it is definitely a rock band version of Purple Haze. And then I had the new movie American Psychopath coming out really soon on Tubi, and I've got 3 other movies out on that platform. I have book rights to this other series/movie that I'll be doing this month and slowly this year, and then I have another movie I have to do, and then there's like another series and a couple of bit parts that I have to film for other people's projects. So it'll be cool. Not much. So yeah, just major music. I have 2 music videos I have to film for a client. I think I have 1 I got to do for me.
Wow, mate.
And a lot of just audio editing stuff, and I do licensing tracks too. So I have some cover stuff I have to do for that. This stuff's cool though, because it's like scary, slowed down Johnny Cash. You know, that kind of stuff. Perfect.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, I sing Ring of Fire in some shows, so I'm already kind of feeling.
Yep.
You know,
love. You know whatever. Yeah, I love that. Operatic style. I can picture that.
Yeah, I'm not trying it. Maybe I should. I might even.
That would be cool.
All right, I'll let you know how it goes.
Send me a video.
And what future plans? I mean, do you even have time to plan a future, or are you just completely rolling with your day, with your now?
Yeah, maybe year by year I think about, you know, what am I going to do this year, especially with movies, because the studio's like, what do you want to do this year, or what are you going to, because there's certain deadlines, there's certain rules and all that you got to apply for. Musically, you know, I just kind of wanted to get back into it a little bit more, and I was like, because I used to open up for a lot of artists and stuff, and I go, I haven't done that in like 5 years because COVID first, and then afterwards it's taken me so long after to feel right to sing again.
You miss it?
Well, not a little bit, but there's a lot of baloney too that goes along with it, and there's a lot of, you know, just how you're treated by the promoters, or you just don't get paid well, or you can't do this. You can't cross this line and this and this. And I'm like, I don't really, like you said, now I don't really care as much where I'm like, you know.
And I guess everything else you're doing is really fulfilling, really creative. That's your spirit, right? So,
yeah.
You don't really
I could tell you my goal with movies is to hopefully have it go wherever the next step is someday. Now, I know eventually, right? You might have to make a choice. Was it your music or your movies? That sort of thing. I always have my music, you know what I mean? Yeah. You can always make songs, but I tell you, if I got opportunity to direct a movie that was going, say, to Redbox or not Redbox anymore, sorry, Netflix, you know, I would do that. I would totally do that. I'd put my music aside, but it's never gone.
No, it's not a forever thing. It's for,
yeah, but I'm trying to do everything because I don't want to lose those music people that like my music either. And I would love to open up for somebody again sometime, but there's a lot.
Surely you're at a stage where people should be opening up for you now, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe a couple years ago, maybe before COVID.
Mate, yeah, I think
COVID messed up everything.
Yeah, it kind of, but it also created. It was like the phoenix dying and coming back out of the ashes. It created a lot of opportunities and
online. It's awesome. You know, online gigs, online, you know, podcasts, everything like that.
Yeah, this because I wasn't speaking to anyone.
Yeah, I will say, I will add this in that when you mentioned that, what you just did, what you said to me is, if you're gone, if you leave the music scene, the circuit, whatever you want to call it, for even a year.
Oh, you're gone forever. Yeah.
Yes. So that's how I feel. Is like I haven't gotten contacted from, you know, I don't want to, let's say promoters.
Yeah.
There's no reason why either. There's absolutely no reason. I used to get the opportunities and the phone calls. They'd ask me to do things. I would email them. It was a nice back and forth thing. But the second they're like, "Oh, you stopped doing it, and then you're doing that," like they're like, "That's great," but
yeah,
birds chirping.
I think it's always. I mean, I remember even before COVID, kind of back in the 2000s, and I was still in contact with my old record company that gave me a deal back in the late 90s and stuff. And I just said, "Look, I'm working on this new material." I went, "Jaden, like, you've not done anything for 6 years, mate. Like, you've got to start from the beginning, and now you're in your 30s." Where there's 18 six packs doing what you're doing, and but and I think that was the thing. Like, it doesn't matter how much you put in, unless you're constant. People are going to replace you for something. So it literally is about being in people's faces, and it got so wearing for me. It just became so exhausting.
You get burnt out, yeah.
Oh, because it wasn't just about being creative. It was about making content for all of your social media, making sure that you were adding people for 6 hours after a full day's job, because you still had to comment on people's YouTubes in order for them to comment. And it just became like, whereas now I think I love everything I do, but I do everything because I love it, not because I need to do it anymore. And like I said, it was almost quite liberating, the fact that I was just like, I'm just going to continue to be Jaden with all my qualities and my, stupid stuff. Just see where it takes me. If I get an opportunity, I had an opportunity a couple of years ago to do like a reggaeton song. I used to teach Zumba for a while, so I liked reggaeton anyway, but I've never sung anything, especially, in English or Spanish. So there was a guy in the place that I was living. He's a really, really great artist. Like, everything he touches, he's a reggaeton dembow artist. It's called Black Sicano, and everything he touches for him is gold. I mean, he's a really good, his videos are great. His sound is great. And he said, "Oh, let's do something." I'm like, "Well, I'm a classical singer." He's like, "It's pretty much pop, mate. You just sing it to a dembow and reggaeton beat. Hey, let's try it." And you know what? All of a sudden, I felt as if I was 21, signed to a label again in London. I was, until I saw the video, and I was like, "Why is my dad in the middle of the camera?" I was young, but I had loads of hair on my head and no waist. Now I've got loads of waist and no hair on my head. I'm like, when did all this fucking change? Like, crazy. But it was fun. It took me straight back to being a pop star in the 90s and feeling close to feeling Jaden again that I felt in many years.
The business isn't about the music, that's all I gotta say.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I came out with something super slamming and he worked with this guy and this, the buzz maybe would start again. But it's like you said, if you don't completely just be on it every single day, because that's what we're made to believe we have to do.
Yeah. That takes away your ability to be creative when you're.
It does, almost because you're this all day.
Please like me, please like me, please like me, please like me, please like me. Now, you said it's like, I'm doing what I do because I love it, because I always want to better myself. And if you love me, come along for the journey. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Do you think when you make a movie, you can be on social media and doing all that stuff all day? No way.
You have a team of people to help you out.
He goes, can you get some more behind the scenes photos and all that? And I go, we don't really have time to stop to take photos.
Yeah, really. You have a team of people that help you with everything.
Usually it's me and my friends, believe it or not. We've just people I've made movies for like 20 years with. Wow. And then there's new actors and stuff that come in, but a lot of it I handle actually the lighting and the setting up, and it's either me and one other guy, or it's zero budget movies pretty much as of right now, which I do love, but I do have a goal. I don't want to. It's totally possible, and as of right now, it's my choice when and if I want to do it.
Okay.
To remake probably one of the most greatest horror films.
Wow.
That redefined the genre.
Don't tell me yet, because
I'm not going to say, because I mean, in reality, other people can do it, but
when you're doing it, come back on my show and tell me.
I will. I think it'd be a big task, but not unachievable.
Doable, right?
Because this original movie was literally made on a bigger scale, but how I make movie, it was made without a studio, that sort of thing.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait.
And it's one of the movies where, man, it's influenced me the most. Almost. Really? So it's not Halloween. I can't, it's not Halloween.
Okay.
It's nothing
People
like
at
that.
home, you're more than welcome to guess. Writing in the comments, you can guess what film Frank is going to be making.
Yes,
that sounds amazing. And I do have a plan. I'm actually going to be an extra in one of your movies at some point when when my little Whitney Houston gigs pay enough money to get me over to New York.
There you go.
I'll be over there, and I'll be the man sitting in one of the diners having a coffee, or I don't mind being.
Or we could do a Zoom scene. I do that a lot too. People on Zoom.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We could do that.
Podcasters. My last movie had 4 podcasters in the scene.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Count me in. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm free of charge.
All right.
It's a good rate. Yeah. No. Absolutely. I'm going to be in one.
Sounds good.
Point. Frank Palangi, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your beyond hectic schedule to come and be on my show. I really am truly grateful, and I'm also completely, in admiration of your talent and your pushing forward with everything you do. And I wish you intense amounts of success. I really do, mate.
Thank you.
So you
love
everyone at home. You've seen running along the bottom of this interview everywhere where you can follow this man. So I suggest before you finish your cheese sandwich and your cup of tea that you stay on the computer that little bit longer. Go and follow, go and like, go and comment, go and share, go and check him out not only on his film work and his social media, but also on his download. You're on your music's on pretty much all major download and streaming platforms.
Every platform, yeah. I always say Yahoo my name. Don't use Google.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Yahoo.
Yeah. Sweet work. It's come from the man himself. You know where to find him. Before you finish your sandwich, get on and do that. Frank Palangi, thank you so much for being part of my show. Really appreciate it. And we're in contact not only about this secret remake, but also about me guest starring. Just give me a little bit of a heads up so I can fix the beard and shit like that. That would be really good.
I will. It won't be this year. It'll probably be in the next 2-3 years.
That's perfect, mate. That's absolutely perfect. I'm always about. So that's really cool.
I've got other stuff I got to make first.
Yeah, I'm be surprised if it's 2 or 3 years, mate.
I got to cut my teeth first more. You know what I mean?
Frank Palangi, thank you for being on the Jaden show. We are in contact.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Bless you, buddy. Thank you so much.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye. I, for one, am bloody exhausted just hearing about the amount of work he fits into his schedule. That boy is amazing and so desperately talented. So please go and follow him on all of his social media platforms. It's really important that you follow creative and wonderful people because they need your support and it helps inspire us to continue working. Thank you so much, Frank, for being on today's show. Thank you so much, you wonderful people at home, for checking out another Jaden show and allowing us into your living room or your office space this Sunday. Make sure you visit me again next Sunday for another incredible special guest. In the meantime, you can check me out on my social media platforms as well. And you can sit back and now have some more time with Frank. This is Dead Man.
You sure this is gonna work? Must have got turned around somewhere.
And try asking yourself, what am I doing here? You know, what is my purpose?
I am Toby, your friend.
Have you had bad dreams before where you couldn't remember anything about the past?
How do you know she's not messing with you?
I feel like I'm living somebody else's life. I just don't understand because I've never heard anybody before. Am I dreaming? At the same time, it doesn't feel real.
You're just a powerless witch.
What's happened? You may not realize that you don't have a soul anymore.
I